Good day, sir.
Merhaba. Good day to be alive.
And, by extension, a poor day to take a bullet. Why are you just standing there?
I came to take the deceased to the cemetery, but caught sight of Mother Nature's bounty and had to drink my fill. He won't mind anyway. Let me tell you, friend. The sweet sea air, the calming whisper of the waves, it's a salve for all ills.
Do you know what happened here?
Officer said there was a duel, shots fired, and then that fellow took his last breath. Reminds me of last year.
So the inspectors have been and gone?
Of course. Police don't let an undertaker do his work before they've finished theirs.
You mentioned a previous incident.
It was in the old city ruins. I remember the deceased was very rich. Front page news, very, very rich he was. But a coin makes a poor shield, as I always say. And who needs it when a view like this is free?
Who died?
Oh, no, mister. It is not my place to say.
Not your place. Nonsense. As you say, you won't mind.
Death with dignity, that's all we can hope for, sir. He doesn't need his name out there.
We're done. Blank cartridges filled with red wax-covered gelatin bullets, most assuredly non-lethal, if rather theatrical on impact. A case for dueling Webley revolvers.
This man is no more. He's ceased to be. He's expired and gone to meet his maker. He's a stiff. Bereft of life, he rests in peace. You know the rest.
The duelist eventually reloaded his gun, but all the cartridges were filled with red non-lethal rounds. A blindfold, discarded or lost. Your opponent was behind you. The bullet entered the heart at an angle, implying it was fired from an elevated position. He died instantly. Predictably, the rumors were exaggerated. The blindfold is intact, with both eyes unharmed. A Webley top-break revolver. Blank cartridges filled with a wax-covered gelatin bullet. Effectively harmless, even at close range, but leaves a nice red splash on impact. A key for a birdcage? I'll take it. Red stains, relatively fresh. A Lamat revolver, .42 caliber. One chamber is empty, the others are filled with live rounds. Red stains, relatively fresh.
Gosh, how exciting. I always wanted to be a member of a club. I bet you couldn't join. No good at following orders, are you, Sherry?
Ah, a contest then. I shall prove my blind devotion, so to speak, to their inane rules, and you shall eat your words.
I love this place. So peaceful here, yes?
You know what? That undertaker has a point. It is beautiful here.
The corner of the box is broken, likely from being dropped.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
The victim was killed by someone up on the wall. It may have been the referee who took advantage of the duelists while they were blindfolded. This seems plausible, but I must consider all options. What if there was another person here? The victim was killed by someone up on the wall. may have been someone else here, a fourth person waiting for an opportunity to strike.
Sometimes I think beauty can blind you, or you can be blind to beauty, you know? Did he see it all around him, do you think, before he covered his eyes and drew his pistol?
Can we please leave the nattering behind?
Oh, friend, relax. Life's too short to be short with people.
Enough tomfoolery. Give me the victim's name.
I told you that's his business, not yours. 2 men duelled, 1 man died. When you hit a rock, stop digging.
There is more to this case than meets the eye. The victim fell not to his dual opponent, but a hidden marksman in the ruins. Abandon your oversimplistic ideals and tell me the name of the deceased so his killer can be caught.
Ah, that is wrong, to be sure. Okay, the man's name was Eric von Staub. I heard the officers say that he lived in Scaladio.
At last. You may return to your vacant stare.
Extra, extra! Stolen painting returned! Interested in some Cordona news? Check the front page. You won't regret it.
Miss von Staub is awaiting the police, sir. Perhaps you might visit on another day. Good day, officer. Miss von Staub awaits you in her boudoir.
Good day, miss. I regret to disturb you at this tragic time, but could you spare a moment?
Oh, officer. I've been waiting. Is his body still in that horrible place?
A horrible place? I should introduce you to the Undertaker. But first, you and I shall get to know one another. I am Officer Holmes. I take it you are Magda von Staub, the sister of the deceased?
Oh, pardon me. Yes, I am.
My deepest condolences, Miss von Staub. Your brother's body will be returned to you shortly, as I believe the case will soon be closed. Nevertheless, there remain some formalities requiring attention. May I ask you a few questions?
Oh, if you must. But I'm unsure if I will be of much help.
Forgive my intrusion, but I must inquire about your bruises. Did you take a tumble?
Oh, I have a weak disposition. It is not so bad, but my skin marks more easily than a peach. It is the least of my sorrows.
But, Miss von Staub, I can tell you suffered new bruises even before the old ones had healed.
I have nothing more to add, Officer Holmes. It is what it is.
Do you know if Mr. von Staub had any enemies? Someone that may have sought to do him harm?
Enemies? I don't know. He and I did not discuss such matters, and he was rarely called upon by visitors. My brother's only guests were his friendly contests, but I was not allowed to participate. I merely heard it all from my room.
Contests?
Eric would practice shooting on the patio, and occasionally friends would join him, but I couldn't tell you if they ever argued.
Where were you when your brother died, Miss von Staub?
I was here painting Eric's portrait. My God, you could have asked the servants.
Alas, I needed to hear it from your lips. May I take a look at Mr. von Staub's room? His personal effects may prove invaluable in our understanding of the case.
Please do. Here's the key.
It appears the parents are dearly missed. Our beloved parents, 1875, Baden-Baden. Rest in peace. Only German composers feature here.
Look at those vases, Sherry. Bet they cost a fortune. Would be a shame if someone broke them. Oh, I love it when you're reckless. Were those Limoges porcelain?
You have a keen eye.
Well, I suppose it's yours. Next time, shoot with a blindfold.
An ointment by a Dr. Herbert with a lavender and pine scent. Excellent score. She covered the locked windows with paintings, but the atmosphere remains oppressive. A sad home for a young woman. She covered the locked windows with paintings, but the atmosphere remains oppressive. A sad home for a young woman. A handsome portrait of Eric. Miss von Staub does have talent. The rounds have been emptied. The black paint looks thick. It's been mixed with something. Sir Barnaby Boddington, 1879. A wealthy man in his 60s. A typical crest for a league or a guild. Club headquarters, 190th anniversary celebration. This whip is well loved and well used.
I beg your pardon?
It seems you and Mr. Boddington were to be engaged. Were you as thrilled at the prospect as your brother?
Mr. Boddington is not how I had imagined my husband. But it was Eric's choice. I didn't dare dispute it. I'm sorry, I don't follow.
One of the revolver cases in your brother's room is missing. Do you know where it may be?
I'm not permitted in Eric's quarters. I suppose he must have taken it with him.
I found burnt letters in your brother's room. I believe they were addressed to you.
To me? From whom?
They appear to be from some of your suitors. Why did you burn them?
I didn't. I didn't even know about them. Eric, he never said a word. I beg your pardon?
There is an unfinished portrait of your brother in your room. Beautiful to be sure, but one detail drew my attention. Why did you add gunpowder to your black paint?
You entered my room? I thought you were only inspecting Eric's.
It is standard procedure, Miss von Staub. Now, tell me about the gunpowder.
Eric's art was his shooting, and this painting is my tribute to him. It felt appropriate. We're both artists in different ways. Oh, please, let... me mourn my brother. Oh, please, let me mourn my brother.
Good day, officer. Miss von Staub awaits you in her boudoir.
The end and the beginning. She covered the locked windows with paintings, but the atmosphere remains oppressive. Sad home for a young woman. The end and the beginning. She covered the locked windows with paintings, but the atmosphere remains oppressive. Sad home for a young woman. Excuse me, just one question.
I'll gladly tell you everything I know, officer.
Oh, please, let me mourn my brother.
Good day, officer. Miss von Staub awaits you in her boudoir.
Can I ask you a question?
I'll gladly tell you everything I know, officer.
Can I ask you a question?
I would never deny you, sir, but I know nothing about this.
What's up?
Can I ask you a question?
That's a question I can answer.
Please come in, sir. The gentlemen are waiting for you on the training ground. Down the stairs.
Fancy? Not every manor has a custom floor.
That is the von Kramkrest, the old Prussian noble family. They must be patrons of the club.
How often do you think they check the submission box? My application deserves prompt consideration.
I'm coming for you.
Shake a leg. Get him.
I can overcome the brute now.
Eat lead. Come back!
Don't cry, you'll live.
He's all your...
Don't bother moving. You've lost.
The snuff's ready.
Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Don't cry, you'll live.
You can over...
No more crime for you until next month.
this! I'm coming for you. Eat lead. I'm coming.
Too simple.
Give him the pepper snuff.
I couldn't miss the party.
Take a rest, my friend.
The snuff's ready.
I couldn't miss the party. I'm coming for you.
Take a rest, my friend.
I must say, Sherry, that was near perfect. Could it be that you're not completely hopeless?
All these places are perfectly secluded, ideal for private duels. The same ingredient was used in the dueling revolver's ammunition. A nice apricot aroma. Marilyn schnapps, I presume. Half full. 2 glasses with dregs of alcohol. Should I pour us a drink, John? Glass crushed underfoot with damp traces still visible.
Who the devil are you? I won't go down without a fight.
Sherlock Holmes. And if I wanted a fight, you would already be on the floor. Fortunately for you, I'm merely here to ask a few questions.
Is that so? Well, come on, pretty boy. How about I fix that nose of yours? Give it a bit more character.
Enough. Your compatriots attacked me and I responded. They still have their lives, unlike Mr. von Staub.
True. At least you are not a murderer. Fine, you may speak.
So you are Mr. Von Kram, one of the club's best shots, the referee of the deadly duel, and witness to Mr. von Staub's murder.
Incorrect. I am the best shot at the club. Heinrich Vögen von Kram. But how did you know I was there?
Your clothes, Mr. Von Kram, the dirt on your trousers confirms your presence in the old ruins. And your jacket features a bloodstain from your attempts to save Mr. von Staub.
That is impressive.
It is merely inferential. Now, a few questions, if I may.
Be my guest. I have nothing to hide.
I'd like to speak with the other competitor.
He left the island. Mr. Dorfman was sure that the killer was after him. He is innocent, I assure you.
Indeed, from his position it would be impossible to fire the bullet at such a downward trajectory, but he was a witness. Shame. So, what transpired in the old ruins?
Everything began as normal. The signatures, choice of weapons. I checked it all, and then blindfolded the duelists. Erich stood to my left, and his opponent, Mr. Dorfman, to my right. Before they could begin, the killer fired. And I'm sure it was not Dorfman.
Why are you so sure?
The sound was different. Not a Webley revolver, and further away. The killer must be an excellent shot to hit the heart.
Did you or the other duelist see the murderer?
No. The killer slipped away into the hills, so we turned our attention to Erich. Rest his soul.
And neither of you pursued the culprit?
I will not have my character impugned. We had only blank cartridges and a fallen friend at our feet. He was our focus.
You said the killer was an excellent shot. Do you suspect someone from the club?
Definitely not. No one from the club would break our rules.
What transpired after the shooting?
I heard Erich cry out and fall. Mr. Dorfman turned and fired at the killer, but I shouted at him to stop and help. I tried to save Erich, but it was too late. He was gone.
You have a nice collection of pistols, Mr. Von Kram.
Ah, a fellow connoisseur of firearms. Did something catch your eye?
What caught my eye is a missing Lamat. Where is it?
Ah, that one. I lost it in a bet. A rare failure of mine.
A bet with whom?
That's private, Mr. Holmes, and unrelated to your investigation. I can't help you with this. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't help you with this. I can't help you with this. I've never seen this before. I can't help you with this. I've never seen this before.
It seems you owed Mr. von Staub a small fortune.
A fortune to you, perhaps, but a trifle to me. Our debts ebbed and flowed. In our next contest, there was every chance I would win it back. Erich was too concerned about all that. Frankly, he often lacked the demeanor of a nobleman. His progressive tendencies could be grating. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
As it happens, a Lamat 42 caliber revolver was discovered at the crime scene. You said you were missing a Lamat, yes?
I did, but my Lamat was a 36 caliber.
And you can prove that?
My word is proof enough. If I said it, it is true. I can't help you with this. I can't help you with this. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't help you with this. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen this before. I've never seen this before. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Last year, there was a similar incident in which a duelist died. What can you tell me?
A tragedy. I shot too well, and my opponent stumbled from the impact. He slipped and fell down the cliff. I regret it all. I have not participated in a duel since. Instead, I only take the role of a referee and supervise the proceedings for safety. I swore that no other club member would die in a duel. Alas, someone else intervened.
How to sharpen one's senses. Addressed to Heinrich von Kram and written with a nervous hand. Arrived just yesterday. A remarkable tool to conveniently enhance anything. I could use one for my analysis. Recordings labelled in Braille.
Your ability to perceive the world can be developed with work and concentration.
You and Eric were competing for the position of honorary consul, yes? Quite the title.
We were, but he stood no chance. Only a true nobleman could take such a role.
Difficult for him to contest it now. I need to be elsewhere.
Miss von Staub is awaiting the police, sir. Perhaps you might visit on another day. Good day, officer.
Oh, please,
Miss
let me
von
mourn my
Staub
brother.
awaits you in her boudoir. Good day, officer. Miss von Staub awaits you in her boudoir.
Oh, please, let me mourn my brother.
Excellent score. She covered the locked windows with paintings, but the atmosphere remained the end and the beginning. May I ask you something?
I'll gladly tell you everything I know, officer.
Help me, please.
Officer, you should ask someone else. I've no idea, honestly.
Oh, please, let me mourn my brother. Oh, please, let me mourn my brother.
Hey.
Please come in, sir. The gentlemen are waiting for you on the training.
I need to be elsewhere. I need to be elsewhere. Mr. von Kram, I know you murdered Erich von Staub.
You joke, I didn't do it.
On the contrary, when the opportunity arose, you pounced. I will consider what you said.
Finally, words of wisdom. Do not be ashamed. Few possess my capacity for reason and debate.
I need to be elsewhere. Recordings labeled in Braille. How to sharpen one's senses. How to sharpen one's senses. A remarkable tool to conveniently enhance anything. I could use one for my analysis. Recordings labeled in Braille. Doesn't appear to be the happiest childhood. Cecilia von Kram with Heinrich, Cologne, 1864. Mein Wunder. There must be more you can recall from the day of the duel.
I wish. My eyes make me a poor witness, I'm afraid.
Yes, your blindness, an affliction since childhood, one presumes. No scars on your face, and you carry yourself with confidence.
I'm starting to see your worth, Mr. Holmes.
But this limitation developed your other senses and made you an excellent marksman. So, tell me, did you notice anything else?
I do recall a floral smell. Something artificial. It was sweet and fresh and came from the direction of the killer.
Do you recognize this scent?
Yes. This is it. The smell I noticed at the ruins. Where did you get it? Do you know who killed Erich? Tell me his name.
I need to be elsewhere.
Good day, officer.
Going on a trip, miss?
No, I'm leaving permanently. This place brought me nothing but sorrow. I am sorry. What do you want?
I think the time has come to be honest with each other, Miss von Staub. I'll start with my confession. I misled you in our previous meeting. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and I do not work for the police.
What? I don't understand.
In actuality, I was independently investigating your brother's death and came to an unexpected conclusion.
How? Why?
It was not a tragic accident, miss. It was cold-blooded murder. And I know the culprit.
No. Who is he?
Nice try, but as you well know, I'm talking to the culprit right now.
What? Are you out of your mind?
Certainly not. Allow me to explain how you killed your brother. The missing box in your brother's room contained a lamat, the same weapon used for the murder. You stole it to kill your brother.
What? No. Eric was obsessed with guns. I bet he simply left that revolver somewhere else.
Yes, it was left somewhere else. The crime scene. Abandoned in panic, a typical feminine response.
No, I've never been to that cursed place.
You hid behind the wall in the ruins. None of the others present could have killed Eric from that position. Both the duelists were blindfolded, and Mr. von Kram is ill-sighted.
So nobody saw anything? Your imagination has run wild.
Ah, but you forget one thing. A blind man's other senses grow stronger. Mr. von Kram detected a lavender and pine scent. That of your ointment.
You're taking the word of a sightless man. This is monstrous.
It is your brother who was monstrous. He was a tyrant, and you could tolerate his abuse no longer.
Living with Eric was a nightmare, yes. But he was my brother.
Now, Miss von Staub, take your time. Tell me the truth.
After our parents died, my life slowly became hell. My brother began to humiliate me. Then he became violent. Each day he'd invent a new punishment. Shut my room, burn my paintings, starve me. And without fail, I would be beaten. All visits were forbidden, all contact verboten. I was his caged bird, his pet. When we did go out, he used me to bait influential people. He sold me to Mr. Boddington simply to earn a place amongst this island's elite.
Was that not freedom from your brother?
He sold me as a thing, sir. Who do you think this gentleman was? I could not endure more cruelty. Mr. Holmes, I'm begging you. Please don't do this to me. Don't throw me from one cage to another.
You have suffered enough, Miss von Staub, but now it is over. I will not turn you into the police.
I don't know what to say. What will happen with the case?
The usual. With their typical stupidity, the inspectors will confidently declare the case a tragic accident, and that will be that.
I didn't expect such kindness.
Kindness? No, where the truth reveals injustice, I expect accountability, but in this matter, Miss von Staub, I see no injustice at all.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. I'll never forget what you're doing.
Salty breeze, old ruins, dusty roads. Do you recall clambering over these walls as a child?
Perhaps. Did we find something at the top?
Ah, it was an old skull. What a lucky find for a pair of young adventurers.
It was easier to climb these walls back then. Not merely because we're older, but because the ruins are too. Of course. You said we needed to bury him. Do you remember where?
Oh, one would think burying a human skull would stick in the mind, but somehow... no.
An old man was standing here as we passed.
Oh yes, I remember his face as we flew by with a skull in our hands.
He looked as shocked as our grisly companion.
Nothing ever bothers an old Ottoman backgammon player.
This wasn't the right place for a funeral. We were looking for somewhere more appropriate.
Funny, nowadays you love putting men behind bars.
You're a fellow of infinite jest, aren't you? The water level was higher back then.
I remember swimming through this mire while trying not to breathe in the horrible odour.
This is where we buried it. It seems that with time, our friend has emerged once more. The skull is ancient. Its likeliest owner was one of the Knights Hospitaller who died during the siege of the fortress. I remember now, you said this skull was my father's.
A child's imagination is a powerful tool. You needed this. A burial process of your own. A ritual so you could begin to grieve.
Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how oft. I felt so alone back then, John. Uncertain. Abandoned by my father.
I know.
The skull wasn't his, though it may as well have been. In the earth, all of us look alike. Putting this man to rest, it did help.
I'm glad, Sherry.
I find myself rather tempted to keep it. If not for sentimental value, then it's archaeological merit. Did you hear? Another sailor stranded.
kiss mark. It's the work of a siren. And
Here to gawk at the bloater?
Not at all, officer. Perhaps I can help.
Help with what exactly? Solving an accident? Fellow drank himself to death, literally. Case closed. It's not the first case, neither. A few days ago, another drunken sailor drowned himself in a fountain.
What can you tell me about the other sailor?
Nothing to tell. Some rich chap complained about a dead body in a fountain. Wasn't me who inspected the scene, though. Should have gone easy on the bottle, if you ask me. They get to shore, they start drinking like fish. Too bad booze doesn't make them grow gills, eh?
I would like to take a look around.
Go ahead. Just don't disturb the evidence, all right? I still have to write my report.
There's talk on the streets that a siren could be responsible for the drownings.
A siren? You mean the bird woman kind? Why, of course, we've got sirens aplenty round here. Harpies, too. Oh, please.
The water is shallow and the slope is smooth. One would have to be dead drunk to drown here. His whole body is tense, stiffened by rigor mortis. A kiss on the forehead is quite intimate, but the vulgar lip rouge suggests a different type of intimacy. Interesting. The face is frozen in a contorted smile. His fingers are clenched as if he's clutching to life even now.
Who's it?
Worn, soaked boots, size 8. Something smells fishy here, and it's not brine.
Just get on with it.
It's a good thing the tide hasn't washed away the tracks. I should inspect them more closely. Siren's song. The rumours weren't so absurd after all. There's still some left, just enough for a tipple. The sediment contained cyanide. It turns out he was poisoned.
Didn't the copper say that fellow drank himself to death? He wasn't wrong.
A bright red lip rouge mark. Light tobacco with a hint of citrus.
Oh, who is it?
What now? I've still got my report to write, so make it quick.
I hate to break it to you, officer, but it wasn't an accident.
Care to elaborate, smarty boots?
The bottle of wine I found near the victim had been poisoned with cyanide. He was dead before he hit the water.
Whoa, that's a twist. Any leads on the poisoner?
Nothing to put my finger on, but I might need to inspect the other drowned sailor.
Well, of course I won't stop you. It's not my case anyway. We had a complaint about a body in a fountain. Can't have bodies laying about in fountains, can we? It was somewhere in Scaladio, as far as I know. You think they're connected?
That is what I intend to find out. Thank you.
Oh, look, they drained the fountain and removed the body. We're too late.
No matter, we'll work with what we have.
Drowning in a 2 feet deep fountain? I've seen some things, but this really takes the biscuit.
Last week's newspaper, the front page reads, "Sky is the limit, Governor funds Arsenal's second airship." This wine, again. Don't sailors prefer spirits? Drained to the last drop. The victim won't be needing his cap anymore. I might as well take it. This wine, again. Don't sailors prefer spirits? Ugh, the litter bin is right there. A cotton shawl. Could it be our sirens? Light tobacco with a hint of citrus. A bright red lip rouge mark. A broken bottle with no label.
Drowning in a 2 feet deep fountain. I've seen some things, but this really takes the biscuit.
A worn leather tobacco pouch, salt stained from a long time at sea.
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate. 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 You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
This sailor is another victim of the same woman. She poisoned him and pushed him into the fountain to make it look like an accident.
Sherlock, the spot where he fell, I saw something. Maybe you should take a look.
Venetian copper soldi, authentic but worthless.
Blimey, the great detective is baffled by a piece of cutlery.
A water-soaked matchbox from The Drinking Dutchman. Must be a local pub.
I'm shipping up to Boston in a few days.
May I ask you something?
I'd help you if I could, but I know nothing. Hey, barkeep! Another one over here.
What can I get you, mate?
Nah, I'm good. Don't want to end up like that guy who drowned in the fountain after having one too many.
Aye, I know the fella. Shame, damn shame. But let me tell ya, it wasn't the drink that got him. 'Twas a curse.
Let me guess. It had something to do with the siren?
No way, mate. That's just a daft superstition. I'm talking about a real curse here. He was from HMS Achilles. Some British schooner, nothing special. Except one of them Jack Tars shot an albatross. Everyone knows it's bad luck. Everyone. The dimwit brought the curse upon his whole crew. 3 are dead already.
It must indeed be the curse, but how do you know all that?
Why, he told me the whole story himself.
The victim told you?
His crewmate. The one who killed an albatross, Harry Thorne. He's renting a room upstairs. Every day, he gets completely rat-arsed, raving on and on about the bird around his neck. He's sleeping it off right now. But when the blighter wakes up, it'll be the same thing all over again.
Wait, I've heard of only 2 such accidents. Are you saying that another man drowned?
Drowned or not, they've all kicked the bucket. Just this morning, another member of the crew was found dead. It's a curse, I'm telling you.
Now we're obliged to find out if it's...
Do you have a free room?
Certainly do. Dirt cheap. Here's the key. Go pick anyone you like.
Seen my family in ages. I want to go home.
Well, if it ain't Mr. Smarty Boots. Guess what? You were right about the poisoning, but this time I'm ahead of the game. We've got another homicide on our hands. Same method, same everything. See for yourself.
He suffered a head wound. There's caked blood in his hair underneath all the mud. A sharp, bloody rock stuck deep in the mud. The officer must have rolled the body over. An empty bottle of rum. There'd be no sirens. Looks like he slipped. This was clearly an accident.
What did I tell you? We've a killer on the loose. I knew it.
That may be true, but this here is very clearly an accident. The victim slipped and hit his head on a rock. I would have thought it obvious.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I thought I had all this sewn up. But you just had to come along and make me look like an idiot. I hope you're happy now, genius. Just move along.
So it was a curse after all. The curse of clumsiness. I hope it's not contagious.
Oh, it smells of stale cigarettes and damp bed sheets. Not exactly the best place to stay in town. Oh, the smell alone makes me feel groggy.
Oof, he's really gone on a binge.
The photo of the cursed crew. Here's Thorn, and right next to him, our first drowning victim. Crew of HMS Achilles, Cordona, 1879.
The same as we saw earlier. She's pretty free with her kisses.
Perhaps too much for her own good.
Now we walk into a trap, guns blazing. The game is afoot, Sherry boy.
Well said. I think I'll borrow that line from you, old chum. He's out cold. No use trying to wake him.
How do you do?
Hey.
May I ask you something?
Yes, I've heard about this handsome. Let me tell you.
Is this familiar to you?
No, honey, I've heard nothing.
Are you able to help me?
Didn't anybody teach you not to bother Ottomans?
This isn't working. You might need a different
Are
tack.
you able to help me?
Oh, sorry. I know nothing about it. But I can please you in another way.
Are you able to help me?
No, honey, I've heard nothing.
Oh, I am bored. Call
Help
me when
me,
you
please.
find the answer.
No, honey, I've heard nothing.
Sorry, you're not my type. Sorry, you're not my type. Harry, it's you! I knew you'd come. It's been so long, but you haven't changed a bit. I don't suppose you remember me, do you?
You must be Eloisa, yes? I got your letter.
Wonderful. No point beating around the bush then. I've missed you, love. I wonder if you still have your prowess. Why don't we go to my place for some wine and something extra?
I'd love to, but I have something to do first. I'll be back soon.
Please, don't be long. Let's go, Harry.
How could I refuse such an offer from a pretty girl like you? Let's go right now.
Wonderful. Follow me. It's not far from here. Here we are. Make yourself comfortable, love. There's wine on the table. You should have some. Loosen you up. Bring out your naughty side.
Won't you drink with me?
Absolutely. I'll join you in a minute. I just need to powder my nose.
All right then. I'll be waiting for you, pet.
Did you just call her pet? Seriously? Boy, you are truly hopeless, Sherlock.
Siren's song. She is consistent, I'll give her that. The bottle was open and the cork replaced.
Enjoy your wine, sweetie. I'll be out in a minute.
Hey, if you want to keep this stupid act up, you better pour out the wine and quick. Hurry up, she'll be out any second.
HMS Achilles, Friday, 5 p.m. She prepared for their arrival. The beloved child of a rich family.
Come on, hurry up. This lip rouge looks good on her. Just saying.
Ah, she's smoking citrus-flavoured cigarettes. The dots connect. White powder with a bitter almond-like odour. These are no smelling salts. It's cyanide.
Oh, here she comes.
Sorry for making you wait, sweetie. I hope the wine has kept you good company.
Oh, yes. I needed to wet my whistle real bad.
But the bottle is full. You didn't even take a sip. Come on, drink it. I insist.
I have to decline. I believe the contents may be detrimental to my health.
What's happening?
It's time I drop my act. This beard is false. I'm not Harry Thorne.
Oh, I see. You're from the police then, yes? Here to question me?
There's no need. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I know that you killed Thorne's crewmates, and I know why.
Well, Mr. Holmes, you can save your breath. I won't deny a thing. But please stop tormenting me with this farce. Do what you must.
I will keep it a secret, but you do have to stop.
How can I stop now after all I've done? I thought it would bring me solace. Stupid. It is too late.
You cannot undo what you've done, that much is true, but it's not too late to move on. It's never too late.
You're right. You must be right. I knew it all along, I just didn't have it in me to admit it.
I'm glad that you do now. And here's your shawl. Try not to lose it again.
I won't. Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Thank you so much.
Excuse me, just one question.
Of course, sir. I'll tell you everything I know.
you know anything about this?
My dear fellow, you're talking to the right man.
Informants, ciphers, exciting. Let's show your brother how it's done.
My poor daughter. How could they take her? My Nakama.
It's strange that it didn't break with all this rust. A cheap wooden handle. The kind you'd find in drunken fights in a cheap bar. Someone jumped over the counter here. Hello. What could these black stains be? Part of a working outfit. The sleeve was ripped off.
Oh, my blood. They've taken away my life. Nakama.
Are you able to help me?
That's not something I know, sir. Someone else might know more.
Can I ask you a question?
Nah, that's new to me. I'm sorry, mate.
Is this familiar to you?
I don't know, my friend. Perhaps someone else knows?
Oh, I am bored. Call me when you find the answer.
Do you know anything about this?
Yes, mister. I know this.
Have you seen the fresh meat? I heard. You, MacPherson, we've been waiting for you.
I'm coming for you. Curiosity can kill more than a cat, mister.
Too simple.
I will end you! I couldn't miss the party.
Don't bother moving. You've lost. Don't cry, you'll live.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Get ready for some pain.
Take a rest.
The snuff's ready.
Don't cry.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Hello there. No more crime for...
The snuff's ready.
Don't bother moving.
Give him the pepper snuff. Time to knock this guy out.
Take a rest, my friend.
No, you killed him.
Please, release me. Please, release me.
Oh, maybe the cipher is hidden around here.
British Railway Guide, 1876. So many bookmarks. I think we've got our cipher. Miss, are you all right? Let me unlock your shackles. My name is Sherlock. What's your name?
I will be all right. My name is Nikama.
Nikama. I'm here on behalf of your father. I'm going to get you home.
I suppose my father's faith was justified then.
Miss, would you know how we can save the others?
Yes, I can show you. Should we run now?
Our staying here is dangerous. Let's free the other prisoners and leave.
You've saved us. I will report back to you-know-who. Don't worry.
I will never forget you.
Once I'm done, we leave. The island. The Empire will take care of us.
May I ask you something? I have nothing to hide, sir, but I've never heard of this.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course, sir. I'll tell you everything I know.
Excuse me, just one question.
Don't take it personally, sir, but I know nothing about this.
Is this familiar to you?
Sorry, but I've never heard of it.
Is this familiar to you?
No one listens to us, so why should I listen to you, oofbird?
Can I ask you a question?
My dear fellow, you're talking to the right man.
That new one is so nervous. And have you noticed?
May I ask you something?
My dear fellow, you're talking to the right man.
Mycroft and his errands. Pshaw. Hello, Ma. I'm looking for the Chief Archivist, Ursula Oni. Where can I find her?
Miss O'Neill is away on official government business. My name is Merrill Levy, Deputy Chief Archivist. I am taking care of archival matters in her absence. How can I help you, Mr.
Holmes. I won't equivocate. I'm here to investigate Miss Oni's disappearance.
Her disappearance? But I told you that...
Yes, official government business. It's ironic, then, that the government knows nothing about it, don't you think?
Oh. So you're one of... them. Well, sir, I know that she had an assignment, but I'm not privy to any details.
You said that Miss Oni is away on official business. Were those her exact words to you?
Oh, no. She once mentioned she did some work for people in high places, so I guess I just assumed.
Is this the first time Miss Oni has been away so long?
Oh, no. She travels a lot. Government-related tasks, I believe. It's always confidential. Always on short notice. The alternative is that she simply went to visit her family on the Swahili coast. If that's the case, it would be quite a while before she returns.
Who would be so desperate to see relatives? I will have to inspect Miss Oni's office. There may be clues to her whereabouts among her personal effects. You must have a spare key?
Yes, but sir, there are rules. I cannot allow a stranger to rummage through my superior's possessions. What if she returns today?
She won't. If you like, we can notify the oafs at the police station and have them do the rummaging, but believe me, I'll be much more prudent. Furthermore, I will notice things they will not.
How do you mean?
Must we really waste the time? Fine. The past month hasn't been kind to you, Mrs. Levy. With your husband gone, the life of a working single mother must be exhausting. But the prospect of not being able to provide for your child terrifies you. That's why you took a second job, though you're obviously not very skilled at it. I wonder what it is.
It's none of your business, sir. Nor are my hardships. Take the damn key and spare me your pity.
Well, you should have spared me your obstinance.
Enough. Go do what you came here for.
Damn these Capello safes, hiding all the juicy secrets.
It's a death register from the last century. Interesting. A box of bonbons. Miss Oni has a sweet tooth.
Perhaps a gift from her admirer. I wonder if the poor bloke knows she's missing.
What a vivid vermilion. She's proud of her roots. Solid gold. Looks like a family heirloom. Are you able to help me?
I would never deny you, sir, but I know nothing about this.
Can I ask you a question?
Of course. Let me help you.
Wait, I remember this tree, Sherry. Take a photograph and I'll tell you a story. We tried to imagine the lives of the dead based on their names and tombstones. I wrote about it in my diary. Do they have no qualms about robbing the dead?
All it takes is one precise strike. Blood drops from a small wound. Traces of dirt from a shovel. Someone leant on this slab. Miss Oni was here with an accomplice. Their argument led to a fight. That fight ended with a shovel to her head. No prizes for guessing where her body is. The blow killed her instantly. This earring was torn out by force. The fight must have been fierce. Buried with her precious treasures like an Egyptian pharaoh. Buried with her precious treasures like an Egyptian pharaoh. There's dried blood under her fingernails. The murderers. Official government business, eh? Hey,
I'm coming.
Right there.
I'm coming for you.
Don't cry, Gilly. Take a rest, my friend.
Take this! I'm gonna hurt you! I couldn't miss the party. I'm coming for you.
The snuff's ready.
Don't cry, you'll live.
Give him the pepper snuff.
Too simple.
The snuff's ready.
I'm coming for you.
Don't bother moving.
Give him the pepper snuff. He's all yours now. Go for it.
I'm coming.
Take a rest, my friend. Don't cry, you'll live.
The snuff's ready.
I'm gonna hurt you.
No more crime for you until next month. Mrs. Levy, what a fortuitous coincidence. Let me guess. Leaving on official government business?
No, I need to take care of some urgent family matters. So if you'll excuse me.
I will not. See, I found something of yours, and I thought it only gentlemanly to return it. Your earring. And that was not the only thing I unearthed. You'll be pleased to know that no grave robbers have removed Miss Oni from where you left her.
Sir, I know we got off on the wrong foot, but I'm not the cold-blooded killer you think I am. Please let me explain.
This should be good.
It was Ursula's endeavor, all along. She needed the money to sustain her lifestyle. When she asked if I'd join her, how could I refuse? My husband died. Bartosz. I had to make ends meet. I had to provide for my boy. Before long, my conscience got the better of me. I wanted to stop, but Ursula wouldn't let me.
That is no excuse for murder. You could have come clean and reported her to the authorities.
It wasn't murder. It was self-defense. She threatened to take my son away from me. Said she'd make sure he ends up in an orphanage. And then she hit me. And I let my instincts take over. I had to protect my family.
Against all odds, I believe you. What happened in that crypt will stay between the two of us.
Truly. Oh, Mr. Holmes, thank you. Thank you.
Oh, please, stop. The truth is the truth, and that's as far as my interest extends. That said, a word of advice. The next time you pursue another source of income, consider something more... legal.
Yes, sir. Of course. I don't know what I was thinking. But... what about the official investigation?
Yes, I will of course take care of it. Farewell, Mrs. Levy.
Sherry, please listen to me. Sherry.
John, I always listen to you.
You don't have to do this. You don't have to go through. I don't know what is beyond this door, but I can feel it. Buzzing, angry, like a fly at the window.
I know. I can sense it too.
You locked away this memory for a reason. There is only pain here.
Pain? And truth.
You do not need to suffer either. There is so much more we can do on Cordona, so many others we can help. There is no coming back from this.
John, my animum, my brother, there is nothing more important in this moment than this truth. I know you fear for me, but my path was set long ago. I can no more step off it than I can ask the avalanche to roll back uphill.
Just... please be careful, Sherry. I love you.
Quite. Come on. We'll go together. Why didn't I remember we had such a big garden?
Maybe you forgot it for your own good. That's the descendant of a tree your father planted in London, correct?
Indeed, we planted the sprout here, and for a while it grew happily. Alas, it seems without us here to care for it, it didn't survive. Is that the raft we made together, John?
Looks more like a pile of rotten planks now.
That's from Mother's favourite tea set. What is it doing in here?
Come here, Sherry. Hurry!
These must help calm her down.
What are you thinking about? Is everything all right? What are you thinking about? Is everything all right?
Don't go, Mother, wait! I remember this artifact from Mother's collection. Mother's work journal. I liked poring over the detailed pages and reading about my parents' collection.
Here it is. We'll just borrow it for a while.
Did you hear that? Someone's coming. Let's take a peek.
You call this progress? Charlotte, amateur. I'm not letting you anywhere near my mother again.
Any result is progress, even if it is a worsening of her condition. It informs my...
No. I have made my decision. She must be sent to a legitimate medical facility. I will not let her hurt Sherlock.
What? Master Holmes, you do not understand.
That will be all. I expect you to have left the house by week's end.
Sherry, say something. Can you hear me? You're scaring me. Sherry,
Sherlock?
say something.
I'm here, come closer.
Can you hear me? You're scaring me.
Sherry, come here, darling. I'm waiting for you.
Coming, Mother! This was from my mother, wasn't it? I remember how we came to the garden for a breath of fresh air.
Take me to my flowers, Sherry. They must already be in bloom.
As you wish, Mum. I bet you missed the fresh air, didn't you?
Terribly. The sun is far brighter than I remember. but I like it.
We can walk each day from now on, if you want.
That would be wonderful. Just look at them. The stars of the earth. Even the sky must be jealous of their beauty.
Indeed. Mother, would you like to go around the water?
That would be perfect. I always wanted such a nice pond in London. It looks so peaceful.
Mycroft knew you would like it.
We should put some fish in it, don't you think?
How about some carp?
That's a nice idea. Let's visit your father's tree. It grows so fast, just like you.
We could even build a tree house in it.
Yes, Sherry. Speaking of your father, could you call him out, please?
Mom! I'm sorry. He passed away. He's gone.
No, he's not.
I'm telling the truth. Did you forget again?
No! Don't you dare say such things! You are a liar like all the others!
Mother!
Don't call me that! You aren't fooling me!
No! Mom, it hurts!
My son would never lie!
Mom, stop!
Who are you? Reveal yourself!
Please, stop! It's me, Sherlock!
You are not my Sherry! Give me my stuff, I can't tell you!
Sherlock. Sherlock. Can you hear me? Come on, wake up.
Get off me.
Sherry,
You knew, and more than that, you hid it from me.
you couldn't bear the truth, Sherlock, so I shouldered it for you. I took your pain, your horror.
Otto Richter murdered my mother, and Mycroft covered it up. Whisked me away from this place, buried me in schoolwork, and left the past to rot.
And you needed a way to cope, so I helped.
You were a lie, John. A fiction. A crutch.
No, I was a friend. Sherlock, please,
Sherlock?
What?
Are you okay?
I don't know.
I told you not to come, Sherlock. Where is he?
Who?
Your friend, John.
He's beside you.
Was all this worth it? Is he worth it?
Why is he here?
I think, in his own way, he was trying to protect me. A truth I couldn't bear. But now I must face it.
Sherlock, what are you doing?
You kept me in the dark and kept your actions quiet. You enabled Richter and his untested quackery for far too long. And worse, you wanted to lock up our mother.
I wanted to give you a chance at normalcy, childhood. There was no changing what happened, no good to come of dwelling in the past.
It was lies upon lies. Otto Richter was trying to save her, but you decided he deserved to take the fall. Is that justice?
The big picture, Sherlock. The big picture. Perhaps Richter was not responsible for her fit of rage, but his treatment led inexorably to that moment. You were so fragile. I could not... I just couldn't. I chose us over him.
You know, for once I believe you. Perhaps now that the truth is out, I can actually do what you had hoped. Leave it all in the past.
Good. You have your whole life ahead of you, Sherlock. It is time you got on with it.
I was worried there for a minute, Sherry. Really worried. I didn't want to hurt you. What's so funny?
I am talking to myself, John. I think I was hurt regardless.
But we made a good team, eh? Explored every inch of this place together. Helped a lot of people. Terrorized a few too, I suppose. I think I may go so far as to say, Sherry, that I have not lived wholly in vain.
So that's it. It's over.
You've opened every door, Sherry. Faced the past you locked away. You don't need me anymore.
I know. I will miss you all the same. I don't want you to go.
Yes, you do.
Goodbye, John. Why are you here?
Closure, I suppose. And to help a friend.
You and I are not friends. In a race between the thawing of the ice caps and our friendship, I would buy a boat.
Ha! Is that right?
I can see it now. I know what you did.
What did I do?
You needled me. From the moment we met, you were searching for weakness. You pushed me to pursue the truth about my mother. You questioned everything I did, everything I believed, to break me. To blur truth and fiction, reality, morality. A saboteur in silk. Was it vengeance, Vernon? Or do you prefer Klaus?
Excuse me?
You are Klaus Richter, Otto's younger brother. Do you hold me responsible for his end.
Ha! There was no love lost between me and my brother. I am sure you can relate. Otto was merely the gravity that pulled me into your orbit. Or you into mine. Once I met you, I could not keep away.
Why? What reason do you have for all of this?
To help you.
You're lying.
To show you that you were wrong.
More lies. I know you now, Werner. Try again.
To see what had happened. Or is that yet another untruth? Does it matter? Take your pick. Who cares? You're my masterpiece. I turned Sisyphus into Ozymandias. You could not see the futility of your quest until I helped you to let go of the rock. And now, nothing beside remains.
I remain. Despite you and to spite you.
It is a matter of will and power now. Will you overcome this, or shall you decay? Oh, on that note, I brought you something.
I want nothing more from you.
When one wants for nothing, Sherlock, the best thing to get them is something personal. So, here you are. Now, please excuse me, but the gallery calls. I'm already conceiving my next project. You really are beautiful.
My brother returned to London soon after our disagreement. He enrolled at Cambridge University, but attends only the rare classes that hold his interest. I hear he took employment at a hospital laboratory, obsessing over his experiments. I suppose he seeks solace in the empirical truth of a chemical test. I am afraid for him. His evenings are spent alone, solving citizens' menial mysteries to pass the time. And I suspect he is growing paranoid. One of my agent's vehicles recently ignited during a surveillance operation. She was lucky to get out alive. There is only one man who could orchestrate such a feat. Or perhaps two. I saved my brother. He will never forgive me.
I found it! I found it!
And what is that?
How far, bruises may be produced after death. How are you? You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive.
How on earth did you know that?
Never mind. The question now is about bruising. No doubt you see the significance of this discovery of mine.
It is interesting, no doubt, but practically...
Why, it is the most practical medico-legal discovery for years. Had we these data sooner, hundreds of men would have paid the penalty for their crimes. Cases oft hinge upon how a man died. Now, we can know which wounds he suffered alive, which occurred post-mortem, and what instrument was responsible. And ergo, one will soon be able to calculate with utmost precision when and where death occurred, sparing the innocent and damning the guilty.
Huh. Then you are to be congratulated.
Indeed. But, you came here on business.
Correct again. I am looking for someone with whom to take diggings, and heard you were complaining that you could get no one to go halves with you.
I have my eye on a suite in Baker Street, which would suit us down to the ground. You don't mind the smell of strong tobacco, I hope?
I smoke ships myself.
That's good enough. I get in the dumps at times, and don't open my mouth for days on end. Just let me alone, and I'll soon be right. What have you to confess now? It's best for two fellows to know what bruises each other carries before they begin to live together. My last companion and I...
Well, I object to rows because my nerves are shaken. and I get up at all sorts of ungodly hours, and I am extremely lazy. I have another set of vices when I'm well, but those are the principal ones at present.
Do you include violin playing in your category for route?
It depends on the player. A well-played violin is a treat for the gods. A badly played one.
Oh, no, that's all right. I think we may consider the thing as settled. Oh, forgive my manners. My attention wavers. Sherlock Holmes.
Dr. John Watson.
John.